Hey everyone, today I want to share something personal. My journey from unemployment to creating my first visual novel. Just 2 years ago, I graduated. I had passed a 2-stage interview and was set to begin my life in the creative industry. My short film was getting a ton of praise from my peers at school, and I felt like all the hard work I threw into college was finally paying off. Except it was not. The team I was about to join was cut in half. Same happened to all the teams that my upperclassmen friends and mentors who graduated before me. My world came to a crashing halt, and any and all communication stopped between me and the company that I was going to join. My daily routine became a blur of customizing resumes, writing follow-up emails, and refreshing my email. Like many others, my confidence eroded by the day. I started questioning my skills, my education, even my career choice. Was I not good enough? Was I aiming too high? Or was this just how the creative industry works now?
I just been going through motion, back and forth like an ocean. I am a fraud, I am the shit, hoping that nobody noticed.
Ultimately, through a ton of back and forth, I was able to find a day job. Just something that allowed me to make some money and pay for rent while I continued to dream. But to be honest, that dream was starting to get a little faded, just a tiny bit each day. There were nights where I had to pause and remember what it was that I cared about, what it is I wanted. To fight this ridiculous, repetitive day-to-day, I sketched. Every spare minute I could, I pulled out my notebook and doodled. Reference drawings, dumb ideas, terrible anatomies, I filled notebook after notebook. A small resistance against my current life situation. My applications were still getting ghosted or rejected. My application output was lower, but I still made those dumb Workday accounts and filled out those questionnaires telling them for the millionth time that I wasn't a veteran and did not in fact ever work at the company before. One day, I started sketching out ideas, leaning into how absurd I felt this entire world of job applications was. I didn't think of it as anything bigger than some fun character designs, just a creative outlet for my frustration. I'm currently in my 6th year of taking my art seriously and studying references to learn proper line drawings, shapes, and whatnot. So I was drawing a bunch of stuff all the time. This was no bigger deal. I shared these with my partner, who was experiencing my exact same plight minus the day job and was living with her family thousands of miles from me. The spark that was my sketches must have ignited something in her, and she immediately responded saying, "Let's turn this into a game." I don't know what it was. Normally I joke around and just put it off as a successful character design or just keep sketching other characters. But when I heard that, it was almost like a tiny bit of light broke through the gloom that was my repetitive job. A lot of things suddenly started to click into place, and this ignited an insane chain reaction that would catapult this single page of character designs into me presenting a teaser trailer for our game in front of dozens of people at a creative showcase, all in just 2 weeks. My partner, who I'll refer to her by her username, Starry, just so happened to be flying over to visit me for a period of time as we were gaining hype on this idea of making a game. We had already settled on a visual novel quickly, as we wanted this game to have a strong focus on the art and narrative. There was no time to really stop and think. We just made things. We decided on a list of things to do and just full sent it. Character sprites, CGs, backgrounds, a few lines of story to fill in for our fake gameplay, and compiled it all into a short trailer that I storyboarded in between frantically sending over character designs. With how much we had to do, there were plenty of times I had to help Starry out, whether it be taking some art files from her and doing coloring work, to doing the illustration for our pixel art style characters. Times like these really make my other regular days seem like I'm just bumming around. Like seriously, how am I able to handle that level of work in one day and then just do nothing but play TFT the next? I could have at least hit masters. When I said it took 2 weeks to make all this, I was actually being really generous because the work started 2 weeks before we presented. The reality is that about 80 to 90% of that work was really done in the 3 days leading up to the event. Our presentation actually nearly didn't happen. I submitted our video and sat through the other projects one by one. There were all sorts of cool app and physical prototypes, other game demos, and more. I was getting really nervous to speak. I mean, there was at least 50 people there. This was one of the times. I am very glad I had some public speaking experience growing up. And then the host said something that made me panic. All right, guys, that's all the presentations for today. Did I submit too late? Was there something wrong with our project? Questions flooded my brain immediately, and I went into full crisis solution mode and started asking my friends about it. And to my relief, one of them told me that the host would be absolutely cool with me going up to them and just explaining the situation. I made my way through the crowd and quickly went up and explained as best as I could without stammering or stuttering. Spoiler alert, I totally probably did, I think. And would you know it, the next thing I knew, I was up in front of a bunch of strangers and some friends presenting our teaser trailer. It was an absolutely surreal experience, and without photos taken of me at that event, I would have had a hard time believing that I was actually up there talking about our indie game. The applause, the compliments afterward about how great the art was and how well it was put together made it feel all the more surreal. That night, we just walked around the area, winding down from that experience. We totally didn't just go the wrong direction 3 times from being so excited. Of course we were excited. This was the beginning to something we've always thought wasn't possible, yet we just started it. For those that have been following our game's journey, might see that a lot has since then happened. I created a few videos and a bunch of YouTube shorts to get some eyes on our development and our Kickstarter. I'll probably make another video detailing the process there. The cooler thing that happened since then was that our game dev team has expanded to include a few other super talented and creative people. It's brought the quality up in pretty much every avenue in the development of the game. We made a kick-ass demo that you can check out to get an idea of the concept and the narrative of our story, and we're open to constructive feedback. I'll put some resources in the description for y'all to let us know what you think. One of my biggest core ideologies is that art is a collaborative experience. There's always a dialogue where the artist creates and the audience responds. So please, if you have anything to say, don't be shy and leave a comment on our itch or on this video or whatever you want. Have fun. Okay, so we're far from being done with this game, but our team at Yoroneko is working hard to bring it to life. The current 1.2 demo only shows off half of our first chapter, but on the production side, we're pretty much wrapping up the first chapter and full steam into the second chapter. My team has told me that we can expect to finish the game by the end of the year, and I plan to do everything in my power to make that a reality while not sacrificing the quality of the narrative I have in mind. I'm super hyped to let you guys in on a few things we're working on next. We've added a visualization for when Rose is texting people. We're cooking up a second minigame for Chapter 2. And after Chapter 2, we also plan to add some map exploration for some more ways to interact with and learn more about the world of Job App Sucks. Rose has been struggling with job apps while applying from home, so in Chapter 2, she'll give in-person job fair expos a try. We'll have to see what crazy characters and systems are in a place like that. If y'all think that I'm doing something wrong as the game director of Job App Sucks, please let me know. I still have a lot to learn. Anyways, it's been an absolute joy seeing all the kind comments across my videos, our itch, our Kickstarter. We've read each and every one of them, and it's really inspired our team to continue to work on this game, knowing that some of y'all really vibe with this concept. Thanks for sticking around and watching, and I'll see you around for the next devlog. Bye-bye.